In this special episode, we pay tribute to the impact that Sammy Miller has made and continues to make to motorcycling. Many of you will be familiar with him, but some may not. Either way, I think you will be interested to hear his story. I'm going to go as far as suggesting his achievements and the extent of his contribution to the world of motorcycling, past, present and future, are unparalleled. Stick around to hear why, and let me know politely in the comments if you agree or not. Samuel Hamilton Miller, MBE, was born on the 11th of November 1933 in Belfast, Northern Ireland. He has won multiple racing championships and titles in virtually all disciplines, including trials, enduro, motocross, road and circuit racing. Known simply as Sammy Miller, he's also a writer, engineer, designer, curator, developer, ambassador, businessman and brand. All these achievements have one thing in common: motorcycles. The word legend is often too easily awarded, but this is not the case with Sammy Miller. The level and longevity of his passion, dedication and achievements in the motorcycle world are possibly unsurpassed. In particular, what started as a private collection of his own has now become one of the greatest collections of motorcycles in the world, notably for the number of extremely rare and, in many cases, unique machines that he has managed to bring together in one place. It all started when we popped into the museum in New Milton, Hampshire, while on our Coast Adventure. If you haven't seen our Coast Adventure series yet, then check out the playlist on our YouTube channel. We're travelling the British coastline, 2 up by motorcycle. We're up to episode 12, but there are plenty more to come, and it's not too late to catch up.
We've arrived, have we?
You arrived?
Sammy Miller's Motorcycle Museum. Lots of petrol pumps.
Well, these actually look like a pair of Sammy Miller's bikes. There he is. This is Sammy Miller. It's the man himself. This is Sammy Miller's bikes.
Oh, right.
I believe we're looking at Sammy Miller in there.
Oh, wow.
Frustrated by the degree to which winning depended on the performance and reliability of the machine and a growing concern for the risks, in 1958, with 3 successive 250cc Northwest 200 wins under his belt, Sammy Miller left motorcycle road racing behind to concentrate his effort on the sport that was to make his name: trials. Sammy loved competing in motorcycle trials. I think it appealed to his perfectionist nature and the fact he could control virtually all the factors that determined success. Trials is not about speed or directly racing against other riders, but it's all about bike control and negotiating obstacles. Back in the day, those obstacles were all natural terrain. Over time, man-made challenges were introduced, and perhaps the most popular trials events today are entirely over-constructed obstacles, some of which appear to be impossible to ride a motorcycle over. The aim is not only to negotiate the obstacle, but to do so without putting a foot down. If the rider manages to do this, then they have cleaned that section. In his early years, Sammy mainly rode aerial motorcycles, including both trials events and the Isle of Man TT races, the best known being his 500cc aerial HT5 trials bike that he lightened considerably from standard. It is now an exhibit in the museum. In 1964, Sammy partnered with the unknown Spanish firm Bultaco that had been recently formed by Paco Bulto. Sammy went on to become the lead developer of modern 2-stroke trials motorcycles. The bike he created was the Sherpa T, Bultaco's most famous and successful motorcycle. Sammy created the bike in 12 days, realizing his success when he finally cleaned a section on the Sherpa that was uncleanable on his famous aerial. Between them, Miller and Senor Bolto were instrumental in revolutionizing the sport in the 1960s. They not only created more capable machines, but widened its appeal from what was almost exclusively a British sport. Sammy won the grueling Scottish 6-stage trial in 1965, and then repeated the feat with wins in 1967 and 1968. He also claimed the European Trials Championship that was in effect the World Championship in 1968 and 1970. This coincided with and perhaps stimulated the growth in the popularity of trials in Europe and later the USA, which provided a lucrative market for Bultaco in the years to come. Bultaco dominated the World Trials Championship in the 1970s, winning the title 8 times and winning the Scottish 6 Days Trial 4 times. In 1970, Sammy returned to 4-strokes and designed Honda's World Championship winning TL Trials bike. He later designed and produced his own competition trials bike, the Miller. The partnership with Bultaco was what brought Sammy to New Milton in Hampshire, where he set up his own motorcycle parts business in 1964 and put a few of his old racing motorcycles in the corner. In 1980, he opened the museum, and these and other bikes became the first exhibits. Today, there are nearly 500 of the world's rarest motorcycles under one roof.
Set in an old farmyard, the museum is a great place to visit. There's plenty of parking, a tea room, craft shops, small animals and children's play area. It regularly hosts all sorts of motorcycle gatherings. For full details, check out the description below. If you're enjoying this video, please click like and consider subscribing so you don't miss future episodes. It's free and there's no catch. Now back to the video.
The motorcycle industry and enthusiasts are blessed to have access to this trove of motorcycle history and are grateful to the vision, drive and passion of the man that has made it possible. I have a personal reason to be thankful to Sammy. When I was about 14 years old, a BBC programme featuring trials called Kickstart kindled my interest, and I ordered a signed copy of Sammy's book, The Way to Win Motorcycle Trials. I read it several times, and when I got my first motorcycle, a Honda MT50, it helped me to develop my riding skills. We'll be returning to the museum in a separate episode where we'll take you on a tour. If his achievements weren't enough, Sammy is also a real gentleman. He warmly welcomed us into his museum and workshop, freely gave his valuable time, knowledge and story so we could produce this video. As you will see, it made our day. We'll wrap up this episode with the brief chat we had with Sammy, a true inspiration. Right, yeah.
Andy, so
what got you into motorcycling?
just living in Ulster. Everybody was into bikes and racing and Northwest and Ulster Grand Prix. And 10-year-old boy dreamt of racing motorcycles and he did it.
Yeah, fantastic. And you're a trials champion, aren't you? But you're also
11 times, yeah.
Yeah, 11 times world trials champion.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah.
And you're also a road racing champion as well, aren't you?
Well, road racing was I was quite third in the World Championship, but my first love was always trials riding, so I could perfect my trials riding because you could practice without an ambulance and a circuit and so forth. Road racing, you were more or less in the hands of a team, and you rode what you were given, you know. Whereas in trials I designed and developed and made my own bikes to win on.
You did, and you're still doing it today.
Yeah, we're working on
just looking at you through the window.
Yeah, we're working on it. This is an AJS 7R.
Yeah.
Supposedly ex-Mike Hillwood.
Yeah,
So,
ex-Mike Halewood.
Yes,
Okay.
so we just stripped it down. These are the rims, genuine Dunlop rims, which are very rare. These are all bits of the hub that we've polished, ready to go back together again.
Yeah.
These are the forks, putting your gaiters on. These gaiters pass it, and if you put them back on, it's a big job changing them, so it's always better to replace them.
Yeah, I've done that.
Those are the units. Just welded up the mud guard. There was some cracks in the mud guard here, so I've just repaired that. Just repaired this here. That was fractured through there, so welded up there. Back to good as new, because I couldn't go down to Halfords and get a new one, you know.
No.
So this is the float bowl, AMOL stuff.
You can't get anything for a 10-year-old motorcycle nowadays, let alone a 50-year-old or 60-year-old.
Those are the mounts for the fuel tank they bolt onto the frame. The frame's gone off the painting. I'm just working on a clutch mod, multi-plate clutch. This is the engine over here, if you like to have a look.
Yeah.
This is we're working on this here, 4-cylinder, 250 Rumi.
Yeah.
Fantastic bit of engineering.
Amazing.
So we're just doing a few jobs on that.
So you've got some fantastic stuff in your collection.
This is a Montgomery, 1939 Montgomery 350cc twin port. Jim, who's not in today, he's working on this. My top man. So
that's gorgeous.
It's coming on. He's just about to get into the engine here. This is a Works 7R AJS. I'll show you a photograph that we got. Hold on, just stay there.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Right, this is a photograph from the TT of the Mike Hillwood's workshop. This is the AJ in the background. So if you look here, you've got twin plug head, which is a Works modification. One plug here, one plug there.
Yeah.
If you look on the photograph, you can see that plug lead going in there.
Yeah.
You can see the big steep induction of the manifold on that bike there.
Yeah.
And the exhaust pipe goes round here, which is different to goes quite out round there. So it's all confirming that this was the Mike Hillwood.
It's authenticating that this is that bike.
Yeah, so we're
Amazing.
quite pleased about all that.
Yeah.
And that's the oil.
And how did you get to acquire it then?
It isn't ours, we're doing that for a customer.
Okay, yeah.
That's the oil pump, which is quite monstrous.
Yeah.
And that's it, your magnesium cases that pops on there. This chain drive, single cam.
Yeah.
So, there we go, that's about what's happening in the workshop at present.
Oh, thank you. And Sammy, how did you get to be in Hampshire and open up and create this fantastic museum?
Because when I left Ariel's in Birmingham, I joined Senior Bolter to design and develop the Trials bike, which changed the world. His importer was in New Milton. That's where the import depot was. So he asked me to come down to be near the import concessionaires, so that if there's any problems I could work with the importer, sorting out problems. And the New Forest was a good place to live.
Yeah, cool.
And the sea's just down the road for swimming in the summer, so it's all quite good. So anyway, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you
very much.
Really
much appreciated.
just have a look through.
Yeah. Well, I've been here several times before. It's not my first visit.
Okay, well you know your way around.